You didn't. I mean, maybe I was wrong.
I didn't even talk about the food.
No. What's the food about now?
Basically, with this piece, this is like this piece is like sensory overload, pretty much. So with this piece, what I wanted was to manipulate our viewing of colour and taste, and also reference how within the brain, colour and taste are very closely linked, and if the colour of the food you're eating is manipulated in a particular way, you won't be able to taste the food, or you should not be able to taste the food in the same way. So if a piece of food is a totally different colour, you won't be able to taste it the way it should be. So it's just kind of like a mind grenade. So you have the kind of taste and the kind of light and the kind of colour, and they're all changing. And then you also have the shape, which changes depending on which perspective you're kind of looking at it from. And just kind of like a mind grenade, really.
A mind grenade?
Mind grenade.
What do you mean a mind grenade? I don't understand that term. What does that mean to you, a mind grenade?
Like a sensory kind of, basically something that totally confuses both your senses and your kind of like your conscious kind of perception or perceiving of what you're looking at. So just basically just to confuse your brain as much as possible, so that you'll go into the next space with like a kind of an inquisitive mind, but also a mind that is like almost after being slightly harmed or something.
Harmed?
Yeah, or played with in a way which was uncomfortable.
Yeah, but I think it's a very, it's my favourite piece. There you go, the one that you didn't explain. That's always interesting. And the other thing I'd like to ask you, would you explain to me just one more time about the magnet?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I'd really like to know about this magnet. Maybe.
I had two pieces. I had a video piece, and I had a sculptural kind of installation piece. And they referenced kind of a magnet which I've got implanted in my finger. So you see this finger, and it's a neodymium rare earth magnet that's coated in silicone, which I got implanted in my finger. And for this piece, I was looking at our kind of physiological or physical sensing of the world, and also our kind of abstract kind of experience of the world. So our experience that we've it's through learned like knowledge, or like the kind of very human way of experiencing the world through like math and things like that. So I was looking at magnetic fields as something which is both so it's basically something which is like physiologically intangible, so you can't really feel them from like kind of from your bodily point of view. So I was getting something which was abstract and turning it into something which it was actually tangible, and you could actually sense it or you could feel it. So I done that through a video piece and then also sculpture.
But you put what did you do now with your finger actually? Where is the actual magnet again?
Well, the magnet is, you can see there's a little mark, and that's where the incision was made, and they made a pocket, and they made the pocket quite big, and then they inserted the cylindrical magnet into the pocket, and then they kind of closed it up, and it healed then over the period of a month or a month and a half or something.
So now, for example, you can, I mean, what kind of effects have you felt with this magnet in your hand?
So obviously I can sense whether certain metals are magnetic or not, but I can also sense magnetic fields if I'm close to them. So I can sense microwaves if I'm maybe like 3 feet away from them. Depending on the strength of the device, I can sense it. So it's like a tiny vibration in my finger. That's almost like if you're blowing on your finger. That's the kind of sensation you would get. So it's like kind of physically sensing things which are generally intangible.
Sensing that which is intangible. So do you think that magnet in your hand creates a different kind of field around you?
I'm not too sure if it. I'm sure it does because I suppose every magnet has its own like field around it. I'd say it'd be like really small, but I definitely have a different experience of the world now. Minutely different, but it's different all the same. So like if sometimes I get a fright because I might be reaching for something and I'll sense it before I touch it.
Really? What do you mean you sense it before you touch it?
So I feel the magnetic field from the device before I actually touch the device. So like if I'm reaching for like the lead off from the laptop, I can actually feel it before I touch it, and I can sense whether there's electricity going through wires or not. So it's kind of like quite handy. So you can pick up screws with your finger, and you can also sense whether electricity is running in wires or not. So it's kind of, it has a functional kind of a use as well.
And how long do you plan to have this magnet in your finger?
Well, it seems like it would be easier to leave it there than take it out. So unless I have to get an MRI scan or it gets rejected by my body if the silicone fails, then I think I'll just leave it there.
You're just going to leave it there? So you're going to leave a magnet in your hand?
Yeah, leave a magnet in my hand, pretty much.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.